Well, a deep dive published today in the Texas Tribune reveals that as climate change intensifies, Texas oysters have suffered from stronger storms and worsening droughts. Texas oyster fishermen are worried as another season begins with few reefs open. So Emily Foxhall from the Tribune is here to offer us some insight. Emily, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So the state pushed for the November 1st start of Texas's oyster season, but why did those fishermen want to delay that? What are their fears? What are their concerns?
Right. So November 1st is the normal start date for the oyster season in Texas. But as they get closer and closer to that time, the state will go out and test various oyster harvest areas in the bays in Texas just to see if there's enough big oysters to harvest in what they consider a sustainable way. And over the last few months, they did that testing and came back recently and said only one area in the bays met those qualifications, and they weren't going to open too many more than that. So the oyster fishermen said, rather than be crowded into the few spots where they can fish, which can be dangerous and which means the season probably isn't going to last that long because everyone's going to be going after the same oysters, they would rather have waited to see if some of the smaller ones in the other areas might grow over the coming weeks and they could open more spots at once, even if it was on a delayed schedule.
Okay, and then in your piece, harvesters say that the industry is really hanging on by a fragile thread. Why have more oyster harvest areas been closed in recent years in Texas? And we know it was booming a few decades ago.
Yeah, it's been really interesting for me to learn about. Galveston Bay especially was a very, big spot for oyster harvesting, and the Gulf still makes up a pretty significant percentage of wild harvested oysters in the country. But there's been lots of storms. You may remember Hurricane Ike really had a significant toll on the oysters in Galveston Bay. It buried them in just sediment that suffocated a lot of the oysters or killed a lot of the oysters. And Hurricane Harvey, even recently, because the rains here in the Houston area were so heavy, that changes the salinity of the bay, which also killed quite a few oysters. So there have been these pretty significant storms, and we've also weathered droughts. The last 2 years in Texas have been pretty significant with droughts, which also changes the salinity of the bay and can be hard on oysters. So a scientist was explaining to us that because of these significant weather events, it can make it harder for oysters to rebound. And as the state has been closing these areas to try to let the oysters recover and come back, that's making it harder for fishermen to make money. And it's also not, working that quickly. A bunch of areas were also closed last season and they didn't open again this season, which is putting the oyster fishermen in a tough spot financially.
Okay, and those fishermen some of them supported state legislation that might actually help with the restoration projects. Is that part of a possible solution to really combat the growing threats? Are there other solutions that are happening now to help with that effort?
Yes, they did support that. And the legislation creates an opportunity both for private leasing, so for people to harvest their own areas on their own, and for private restoration projects. But in addition to that, the state is pursuing some restoration projects already, and a number of nonprofit groups are too. The Nature Conservancy is involved in one where they built what they call a sanctuary reef. So it's an oyster reef that won't be harvested, but instead is meant to provide baby oysters that will help populate other reefs that will be harvested. And the state and the Nature Conservancy have been involved in kind of studying whether or not that is working in real time. And another program the state has is an oyster license buyback program. The idea being if you can get some people off the water and reduce the harvesting pressure on the oyster reefs, that could help the oyster population rebound. But in the most recent round, they did get dozens of applications from fishermen who were interested, but the state wasn't willing to pay as much as the oyster fishermen wanted. So we'll be watching to see if that changes in the coming months or years.
Okay, Emily Foxhall will have that very extensive article on our website at kxan.com. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.